Yeah. Cheers.
Good evening, welcome, fellow babies. Saturday night, so it's gotta be the Silly Shill Show. And holy Lord, thunder and Jesus, boys, have we got some stupid for you? We've got Mud Fossil University, Flatzoid, Nathan fucking Oakley. Try thinking that it gets even worse. I don't even know where to start, but you'll notice up on the TV, we got some splashdown action for you. So Aimee's going to introduce you to the panel and you can watch some pretty pictures. Aimee, how's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Thank you very much. I've just got this giant stupid keyboard because my keyboard's going on my laptop, but everything's going great. So let's get right around the room. And while we watch that splashdown, let's see who's here with us. We've got first up on my list, I have DKG Custom. How are you today, DKG?
Oh, look, Aimee, the plane is coming down. Oh, you got 4 people coming back from holidays. It's so sad. And they're going, oh. I want to go back. Such an expensive holiday, it really is. I mean, I thought my wife was, spending a fortune hiring a cottage. But for fuck's sake, how much was that a day? Jesus Christ, the bed and breakfast must have been good up there. That's all I can say. Hello, Aimee. I forgot.
Hello.
Yeah. Let's get on with it.
That's right. Next up, we have Mipet. Mipet69, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you, everyone. I've got a ferret stuck in my tissue box. But other than that, all good here.
I love it. That's great.
69.
That's right. And before we continue on, I just have some housekeeping to do. We've got the Kiweasel for New Zealand, $2, who says, I like debunks and I cannot lie. Thank you so much.
You got to sing it, Aimee.
Oh, that's okay.
Uh-oh. I think OBS just crashed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that we're even live. Let's see. Oh, maybe we are.
Yeah. And it's
we are because everybody's. Yeah, I can see it on the screen. So
yes,
we're all
still on YouTube.
Okay.
Yep, we are. So I'm going to keep going. Next up, we have M2M. Matt, how are you this evening?
Oh, sorry, you just caught me eating toast. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can you go to somebody else just for a second?
Sure, we can do that. We'll come back.
I like eating crow.
There we go. So next up, we have Purple Rhymes with Orange. Hi, Purple. How are you?
Doing okay.
Excellent.
Toast is just pizza when you're short on tomato sauce and cheese.
That's right. There we go. I like that. That's perfect. So next up, we have Mike Bertelson. Mike Bertelson, how are you? Oops, he's muted. So
Uh-oh.
Or do we?
we lost our mic. But that's okay. We can just keep going. How about Be-NoJustBe, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good. I slept in late, stayed up late last night, sat around, screwed around on the interwebs, and here I am.
Awesome. We're glad you're here. So we got an extra night with you. This is awesome. So we're happy with that. So
thanks, guys.
Sure. Should we try again, Matt? How are you this evening?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's
was very
okay.
unprofessional. I just right before the show started, you see, because I had my dinner really early today. It was like nearly before 5 o'clock, and then got to just before the show started and started getting hunger pangs. I thought, I've got to eat. I'm starving. So yeah. Sorry, but yeah, I'm great. I've been awesome. I've been working on a new intro for my videos today, so that's going to look a little bit better, a lot shorter. Possibly a new logo, as you can probably see, but I'm not sure that's working. And other than that, I've done fuck all else, really, pretty much.
There you go. I know. I binge watched a show today and looked up because I had to after I looked at those videos because I was going to cry. So I found a good show to watch. So next up, we have Mike Bertelson. Mike, how are you today?
I'm doing good. It's been a hot, sticky day today, but it's got to be cooling down, and fall is here.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness for that.
Can't believe the first
sticky day. Hot, sticky day. It's just a normal work day then.
Close.
There you go. And someone we've missed, and it's so great to have you on tonight. We have AB Science. How are you doing?
I am fucking smashing. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Yeah. I thought I hadn't been on the show for a while, so I thought I'd pop along tonight and see what kind of stupid you've got in store for us.
Awesome.
Do you mean the videos or the guests?
That's a 50-50.
The stupid
AB
will make you cry, I promise.
AB, you're just a little quiet, buddy. If you can turn yourself
I
up.
am working.
Yeah, it sounded
Yeah,
a bit
no,
far
it's
from
me. I
the
have
mic.
I have a sore throat.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah, there we go. Is that better? It's a stupid mic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm spinning up my rig in the background. It's taking some time.
Okay, cool, buddy.
Hours for,
You're doing
for a
good.
long time, so it doesn't know what to do.
There we go.
Yeah.
And next
Well,
up, we
Amy.
have- sorry.
Oh, sorry, Amy. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to finish the intros, but go ahead with AB because you wanted to talk to him about something.
Well, he's got audio skills and whatnot, and if you're unfamiliar, we'll get familiar. He will get himself sorted. He knows
That's
what to
right.
do. He's just being lazy.
Yeah, I'm scared because he's the smart one out of us.
There we go.
Apart from Mike, obviously.
So
no, not
next,
obviously at all.
No, I'm smarter. I'm smarter than all of you.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Have
and
to
next
wrong
up-
at some point.
there we go. And
Yeah.
and next up we have John Watson. John, how are you this evening?
Oh yeah, hiya.
Hi.
Yes, I'm ready for slaughter. That's all I can say.
There we go. Get ready for some torture because it's going to be fun, I'm sure.
We can see you on camera, John. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this, but
It doesn't work with the set, though, John. You might as well turn it off. We can barely see you.
if someone sees me on camera and people say, "Oh, John, we can see you on camera," you have no idea how little I give a fuck.
No, John, you're missing the point. I kind of do. It doesn't work with the set. You might as well turn it off.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I'll turn myself off.
It's okay, John. I turn myself off all the time. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah, it happens to the best of us. But I will. So I press, what button is it? I'm an old man. I don't know what I'm doing.
It looks like a camera.
There you go. That's it.
Okay, now hold on, guys. So have we introduced everybody? Because I know OBS is crash. Okay, finish introductions, and then I have to restart OBS, and it's going to interrupt the stream because everything is a mess over here. I can't do anything.
Sure. Well, it was you anyway. So how are you this evening, Dick?
Oh, well, right now I was really happy until OBS crashed and fuck my all shut up and god damn it, now I'm pissed off and I'm fucking rabble.
Hey, Dick.
There we go. I think I did it in enough cartoon languages to suit the situation.
There we go.
Dick, tell us how you really feel.
That's it.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is I am going to do the old Control-Alt-Delete on OBS and bring it right back up. It'll make the screen go blank, but it won't interrupt the actual stream. So hold on to your asses, everybody. And fix this shit.
Sounds like a plan.
There we go. And
See you on the flip side. Dick, you're right
there. Yeah.
Quit calling me a dick.
Oh, am I?
There, man.
Okay. All right. I
Well,
think
that's
we're going to be good then.
That's funny.
Yeah.
William Wakefield said, everyone stop
We're
typing
back
so
in
they
the
think we're gone.
What do you think we've gone?
Not cool, man.
Okay, now that was
Not
funny. Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was awesome. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, I got to find that chat to turn it off. No, I can just type another one. There. Okay. There we go. All right. So we can actually do something now. What do y'all want to do? Should we dig into the bag of stupid, or do we want to? Where's the YouTube cap? What the hell going on?
Oh, geez.
You know, I
What?
still have no
man.
proof that any of you continue to exist when I power down my computer.
It's true.
Dick, he had one fucking job. One job.
Yeah, there we go. I got it.
wrong?
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
I know it's an old joke, but wouldn't it have been great, especially on this one, for when they open up the capsule that everyone's wearing ape suits?
That would be hilarious.
That'd be awesome, actually. I love it. So, should we let Splashdown continue and just like piss around for a bit, or what do the viewers think?
Yeah, it's done. It's done. The interesting bit's done. It's down.
Yeah,
Let's say
it's down.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Do you
survived
think they were
re-entry.
disappointed
They're
to
alive.
realize they had to still come back and live on this planet?
Yeah.
All right.
Would have preferred to gone to fucking Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that could be true.
Can I just say, I was watching that, and it might be like a throwback, to the Apollo missions and all the like dramatized stuff. But that comms blackout, I was actually like, no, fuck. I mean that. And then I actually thought when I was listening to that, they're kind of like, yeah, they're just going through a comms blackout. All that's happening is that they're re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, and the capsule is enveloped in plasma, which disrupts communications, and it'll be fine. And we'll hear from them again in a couple of minutes. And I'm thinking, actually, I'm quite.
It's nerve wracking.
I'm quite familiar with like how fucking severe that is. That's fucking. They're in a fireball, and to make out that is, it's just routine. But you know. I just thought, fucking hell. It's. I don't think we're close to that being a completely routine experience.
No.
That's a very, very dangerous thing.
It doesn't matter how many times they do it successfully. There's still always that concern that this might be the one where it doesn't go right. Because that's what happened with the space shuttle. The space shuttle was, everybody was, belligerent to the whole idea that anything could go wrong. And then when it did,
at that point during re-entry, you're completely relying on Newton. That's what it boils down to. There's no control. You've got no control over it because once you start re-entry, that's it. You're down. You're going.
Yep.
What's Newton doing?
I'm not going to go into detail, but you know what I mean. It's So with liftoff, there's actually more that can actually go wrong during liftoff because there's so many things that have to go right in order for you to get into orbit. So there's lots of things that can go wrong, and only one way it can go right. But when you're coming through re-entry, there's one way it can go wrong and one way it can go right. See what I mean? So it's kind of like, if it's going to go horribly wrong, you're likely to die during re-entry.
Yeah, fall good or fall bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Contrary to what most people might think, that there is control of your your trajectory in re-entry.
You can't stop it. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
We can't. No, you can't.
Once it's started, yeah.
But you do have control of your direction, and it's a really way that and how it's controlled because the capsule doesn't have a centered center of gravity, an offset center of gravity.
Yeah.
So by with jets rolling the craft around, you can actually direct it. It's quite amazing if you look into it. But it depends. The whole thing kind of hinges on whether or not the craft is actually up to surviving re-entry, and it's quite a thing, you know.
I mean, I agree in the most part, but I mean, they've done it so many times now. They know exactly what happens, you know. And the heat shields are actually quite a simple thing, to be perfectly honest with you. So it's just basically, essentially, just controlling it to the extent that, you know, the bit that the windward side of it stays the windward side. As long as they do that, they should be fine, you know.
Yeah. Well.
Should
congratulations.
Should we rewind the splashdown a bit and just put it up and give ourselves like another 5 minutes of just being ourselves before we dive into oh my god.
Yeah, the question here is, Dick, is if the audience really wants to see our true selves.
They got no fucking choice, but I'm glad they've made it.
I have to be.
Don't make me lift up my kilt, please. Don't.
Oh, I would never make you do that. Trust me.
I have to be myself. No one else is qualified for the position.
Here we go.
By the sounds of it, John doesn't need any sort of encouragement to lift up his kilt.
Yeah, okay.
That's sadly true. Here, I need to get to my other window. This is I think if I was hanging from that parachute, I'd be going pretty slow.
Well, yeah.
Is that what a parachute's for?
Yeah, but imagine that size of parachute for a human. You'd just be like, I'm getting hungry.
You'd almost be going up.
Well, if they're arguing about parachutes, have they never seen those kids' toys where you got the plastic soldier tied to a parachute?
Yeah, that never works out well for the plastic soldier.
Well, no, I had some of those that worked pretty well.
Try to put your G.I. Joe on that. It just doesn't work.
Well, yeah, you can't put a bigger soldier on it.
And we could get Jin to do a poll. Should we keep pissing around, or should we get to somebody really stupid?
Well, I've got a question for the panel on that subject. God. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Hands up how many people have tied strings to a bed sheet and jumped off from like a large table or something to see if you can parachute down.
No, but I've tried it with an umbrella.
I survived most of my childhood by being good at hiding. So my older brothers found the next brother above me to throw off the roof with an umbrella.
No.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you a story. My father was in the military. He brought home a flare parachute. It was quite a sizable sort of parachute, and he gave it to me. So I had a hold of this parachute, and we lived in a house that had a balcony. I suppose the balcony was about, I don't know, 12 to 15 foot high, I think, something like that. And I was literally a second away from holding onto this parachute and jumping off this balcony when my mother caught me and it managed to stop me.
Okay. So you give a parachute like that to an adolescent boy. What did they think was going to happen?
That was my argument, Mike. That was exactly my argument.
He's not going to make a wedding dress out of it.
No, he's not. He's going to say,
Yeah.
It's going to be, I wonder how high I can go.
Right, I actually did do that. Thankfully, it wasn't that high. It wasn't that high. Perhaps I would have actually injured myself if it went wrong. Well, we'll never know. But Yeah, I tried various stupid things like that when I was younger, and lots of other really fucking stupid things in the years to come as well. Yep.
Yeah,
why are we not surprised? Okay. Right, Dick, come on, hit us with some shit.
Okay. Okay.
No,
let's see here.
Play the guy from Mud Fossil University.
Well, that was a good test. We can hear AB a little bit better now.
Yeah, I've now switched, so hopefully I've got
job,
decent
buddy.
sound now.
Yeah, you sound good.
Welcome properly to the show, AB. Good to have you, buddy.
Thank you.
So let's do a little panel vote, shall we? I'll bring up a couple of titles. Now, remember, I don't know who made the video. I only have the titles. So
I don't believe you.
We've got clearly Flat Earth. We've got NASA's laughable Apollo lunar lander.
No.
Oh, jeez.
And we have It's Just Perspective.
Well, I'm gonna put my vote in for the lunar lander. I'm curious about that.
I knew.
No, we know what it's. We know exactly what they're gonna say. We know exactly.
Yeah,
what
I
they're
know.
saying.
But I'm always looking for something new, so it's always good material.
You're just looking for material.
Exactly. That's what you're saying.
Okay.
So, let him
come on now. Come on now. Votes. What do the panel want?
I'll go with the lunar lander. I want to see how long it is before someone mentions curtain rods.
Yeah. It won't be long.
All right.
Yeah, it won't be.
Okay, let's get the TV in. And for your viewing pleasure, we have NASA's laughable Apollo lunar lander.
Take a second to honestly observe the following picture.
Oh my God.
And tell me what
Yeah,
this
I knew
looks
it.
like to
I knew
you.
it.
Yeah.
If you
I knew it was
said
him.
a
I've
bunch
seen
of
this.
cardboard, construction paper, curtain rods, gold tape,
There it
and
is.
foil, you would be correct.
Yeah.
If instead you said the National Aeronautics and Space Administration's highest technological achievement, incapable of being reproduced today, the Apollo 11 lunar lander, then you
come
would
on.
also be correct.
No
Most
one
unbiased
said
viewers
that.
would
No.
assume your average high school art class could construct this contraption without much struggle. But official
No,
NASA
fuck off.
spokesman and astronaut Don Pettit assures us that actually this 1969 technology is so advanced that even with their multi-billion-dollar yearly budget, they cannot for the life of them recreate it now.
I'm sorry.
Now you go
Fucking
back
pause.
to the moon in a nano.
Yeah. Pause.
Oh dear God.
He's getting
Fucking asshole. No one ever said that we cannot reproduce it. You know, and they all, well, he takes everything out of context because he's a lion sack of shit anyway. But
Yeah.
it isn't that we don't have the technology to reproduce today. Of course we can reproduce it. It's just that the technologies we have to create today to do that are different. The hardware and software that we need to use today is more susceptible to space travel hazards. That's all. No one ever said that we can't reproduce any of this technology. And second of all, it's just intellectually dishonest of him to point out, it looks like tinfoil and curtain rods. Yeah, do you know what's underneath the insulation that's covering that thing? Do you have any clue how this thing was designed and put together? No, you may or may not, because you don't fucking care, because all you want to do is put out a video to hoodwink the crap out of people so they'll give you money. That's it.
Well, the other question is what does he expect it to be? I mean, does he expect it to be sort of like something from Flash Gordon? And then if it was like something from Flash Gordon, he'd go, look, it looks like something from Flash Gordon. I mean, he just has no fucking clue what he's talking about at all.
The other thing you've got to bear in mind as well is that the technology of the time, it was absolutely spanking brand new. And I think it was Buzz Aldrin that actually said that he had a 1 in 3 chance of not returning because all the, it was brand new technology and it's largely, it was tested, but not, largely untested to a larger extent. So the risks in those days they were prepared to take was to get to the moon before the Russians did. But now we're not in a space race. We're not prepared to take the same level of risk now than we were in those days. It's just unacceptable. We're just not going to do that.
But that's the issue, isn't it? It's because 1960s technology was largely a lot of kind of analog style stuff. And at the moment we're dealing with digital stuff, and we are far more concerned with safety. And, you know, we're talking about, we're talking about circuit boards, and we're talking about, you know, a reasonable amount of radiation as well in space. And there's quite a lot of research being done, on how circuit boards and how to develop circuit boards that are less susceptible to radiation. Which for the British people, you'll appreciate that. If you ask one of the people involved in this kind of work, if you ask what their research is, they will quite literally just tell you fish and chips.
Right.
My understanding of like some a lot of you guys, I'm fascinated with the space race, and I've read a lot about it. My understanding is that it's largely based on 1950s jet fighter technology, and it was cutting edge at the time. And as you guys have just said, it would absolutely not pass muster in terms of health and safety nowadays. Absolutely not. Yeah. But they were prepared to take the risk, and from the testimonies of the astronauts on the Apollo missions, towards the end of it, there were a few of them were like hoping that it would come to an end, because they were sure that there was going to be a catastrophic loss in space, because they were really flying by the seat of their pants. I don't know if that translates to the States.
Yeah, but let's be truthful. Let's be honest about it. That the lander that they used, they all did exactly what they needed to do, and they all worked perfectly.
Yeah,
perfectly fine. That's what we're talking about here is some numpty's incredulity.
That's right.
And that's all it is. That this thing can't possibly be a thing that takes people to the surface of the moon. That's all it is. And so, fuck him. I mean, I'm not. If I ever to go to the moon, I'm sure I'm not going to go to him for design choices.
That's true. Purple, you had your hand up a few minutes ago.
No, it got covered.
Oh, okay.
Well, say it again.
I hate when that happens. Yeah.
Well, I'll just plug that if you want it now, you don't need to use cardboard. There's a really excellent Lego version that you can buy at Target today.
But the other thing I was going to say as well was that, the external does look quite flimsy, but there's a very, very good reason for that. Underneath it, there's a very solid frame, which I've actually just posted a picture in the green room, and it was that way because it needed to be light. It had to be light, and also there's in the vacuum of space, there's no aerodynamics involved. It doesn't need to be solid because it's going to be touching on the moon very, very lightly. Right. And also the cardboard that you actually see is not cardboard. I can't remember what the material is, but it's painted black. But it was actually designed to warp when it actually landed as well, because there is a certain amount of warping. But all that does is it's actually covering just all the things like the oxygen tanks and all the instrumentation, and that's all it needed to do. It didn't need to be a solid external structure.
Yeah.
I mean, by the looks of it, it is just some mu metal.
Not new metal.
Not new metal, but mu metal.
Yeah.
We use that quite a lot for electromagnetic shielding, because it's cheap and easy. There's fuck all radiation goes through it. It's great. It's quite useful. I use it in some magneto-optical rigs I've got to shield magnetic fields in certain areas to prevent any kind of polarization that I don't want to happen. It's great.
And everything that they see, though, everything you see in the picture that DeBay was showing us, none of that is structural material, except some of the struts that you see sticking out of that he calls curtain rods. But all of that stuff that he's talking about, cardboard and tinfoil and tape, none of that is structural components of the vehicle itself.
Can I just say, for those of you that don't know, I'm obviously slightly drunk at the moment, but I used to be very heavily involved with the Royal Observatory in the UK, and I've met astronauts, and I've worked alongside with people that build satellites, and I've and so I actually have quite a good background knowledge of the technology concerning spaceflight, and because of the interest of the Apollo program, and it's kind of funny that when you have conspiracy theorists trying to poke holes in the Apollo program, just let me finish. I won't take long. What?
Did you see the render thing that NVIDIA did about light sources on the moon to show that it's all BS and it's all perfectly natural? That was amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I saw that. Yeah, that was quite something. But what I was going to say was when you've got sort of like top 10 of the smoking guns of proof of a hoax and why it's not possible. I mean, geez, the things that had to be overcome to make that program possible are just extraordinary. The engineering feats are just remarkable. To say, oh, they couldn't have done it because of this or this, and you can almost instantly dismiss it by saying, well, that's because of that, you stupid prick. It looks strange because they shot that photograph on the fucking moon. Okay.
Can I just say we're 40 minutes into the show. We've only seen one clip of debate so far. Maybe. I mean, we all know. Us normal people know that it's perfectly fine. So I think we should hear a little bit more of his bollocks before someone votes him off.
Is the vote up, by the way?
It is. I actually do not have control of the vote and whatnot anymore. Jin in the chat, Mod Supreme and whatnot, now has control of the votes and whatnot. So they're never late anymore and all that. It's actually being done properly. So that's cool.
Yeah, but to be honest, let's just vote this fucking Nazi off.
Predict you're finally learning to delegate.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hear a little bit more what he's got.
Yeah,
even just a couple of minutes and then
just a bit.
Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to get on about the buggy.
That's true. Okay, here, you know what I'll do? I will speed up the playback because that is the proper thing to do at this point. And
to be fair, let's say that when we are a debunking show, we can't just vote him off and shut him up. Otherwise, we're not debunking anything. We're just
but
it is.
But every now and then,
it is.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say. Every now and then, it's not wrong to just go, you know what? Fuck that fucking fuck. Right? Come on.
Yeah.
I thought.
All right,
I thought you weren't going to say that word anymore.
What? Oh yeah, no. I was talking about hockey and the puck, and here I'm bringing it in.
Yeah.
Don informs
Flick that flicking
but
flicker.
NASA destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. Firstly,
I love the
why on
sound!
Earth would NASA destroy the original Apollo
Brilliant.
lunar landers? The
Oh my
historic
God, that's
first
hilarious.
crafts that landed men on the moon. The supposed most incredible achievements of mankind, and they irreparably destroyed them so that they could not be replicated even after 50 years? Could it be because they didn't want future generations
sounds
able
like
to
a
visit
Valley
museums
girl now.
and see these laughable
does,
1960s
and he still
attempts
sounds like a
at
fucking
high-tech
liar,
looking
too.
space vehicles? And what other 1960s technology
You
is so
destroy 'em,
advanced
it's
and
just kinda
expensive
hard to
that it
get to
cannot
where
be
we left
recreated
'em?
easily and far better now than way back then? Let's take a closer look at this 1960s spaceship and see what else we can notice. For example, look at the paneling here on the side of the craft. If someone sheetrocked your house looking like this, you would be entitled to a full refund. Yet, with supposedly
meant
the
to look
best
like that,
engineers and
and it's meant to
scientists
do
in the
that.
world on the job, this is the kind of craftsmanship NASA provides? Look at the flimsy, haphazard, and careless construction materials and methods used. Look at the buckling, warping, and indentations.
Yeah,
I think he's
that
missing the
happened.
fact
right.
that I think
He's
he's
getting
missing
Hitler.
the fact that his mother
Yeah.
had poor craftsmanship when she gave birth to him. But whatever.
Yeah. I mean, seriously. This is a public service announcement to all who work at the sperm bank. When a drip like this is on the side of the jar, just wipe it off and throw it away. Don't fucking put it back.
I mean, it's got a point though. I mean, look at the plasterboard on that. I mean, I wouldn't accept that in my house.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if that was a house, yeah.
And if it were plasterboard.
And if that was on Earth.
What a tool,
And-
honest to God.
Yeah, it's
Well, he also kind of misses that scientists and engineers do not actually put these things together. They draw all the parts, and then someone else does the construction.
That's a good one.
I think I'm going to
yeah.
do a video about the construction of the lunar lander. I think a little bit and go into a bit more
See,
detail because that could be.
I told you were looking for material.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have actually seen his video before, and I was tempted, but it was. I thought it was going to be too long, but I think I'm going to do it. I think.
yeah, and the problem is I've seen this recently because on Facebook his videos are now making the rounds. As old and crappy as they are,
Yeah.
Facebook flirts are just pulling these things out of their head. Things that have been debunked for years, even. It's like, dude. Do you research any of the shit you put out there?
Mike, on Facebook, how many times do you see someone come up there going, "Hey, have you seen this 200 proofs the Earth is flat?"
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, believe you me. I mean, one of the old moon landing hoax theories is the flag waving on the moon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been around since the fucking dawn of time.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, you still see it on flat Earth Facebook groups and stuff like that.
Yes, you
Honestly,
do.
you still do even now. And it's kind of like people that post it. It's almost like a gotcha moment. It's like, look, the flag's waving. I've got you. I've got you. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and all they're doing is demonstrating how much of a parrot they actually are.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, are these like people who have newly found flat Earth and
Yes.
the moon debunkers?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I think sometimes they're a bit like Spurs chemo, where you just reset each morning, like Groundhog Day,
Right,
and you just start all over again, and you just forget anything you've been told that's bullshit, and you just keep hammering at it.
Just a bit
Right,
of
that's
both.
what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure some of them too are trolling the flat earthers as pretending to be flat earthers. Because I know there's quite a few people out there who are doing that. I'm sure of it.
Isn't humanity great?
Oh yeah. I think half of the latest, stupidest memes that are out there that flat earthers are using are created by globe earthers just to see how stupid they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you said that a lot. You said that several times, and I totally agree with you.
Absolutely. Thinking
Although
about
I must admit, though, I've stayed away from Facebook Flat Earth because, quite frankly, every time I make a comment, I get blocked, and I can't talk to my family.
Yeah.
So and I'm not going to set up a troll account on Facebook. So fucking just let them ramble on.
we should
I'll leave
get
it to you, Mike.
We should get together and test the troll meme theory. See if it actually works.
make a few memes and see really
I
stupid ones and see.
I don't know if I can come up with anything as stupid that they do. That's the problem. You've got to have a really keen mind to come up with a meme as stupid as a flat Earth meme as an intelligent person.
That's because you're not stupid and they are. That's what.
Yeah. I was doing that kind of stuff.
That as a compliment.
I was doing that kind of stuff before social media was invented. There are stories that are part of our family history that I fucking well know I invented, but everyone insists they happened.
I love it. That's great.
You troll your family.
Yes. All right. Well, I guess we have to go back to the idiot.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Fine.
I hate this man.
Well, before we do that, we should introduce him properly.
Oh, God damn it! Okay, hold on.
Now play.
Oh yeah, because it's that quick and instant. Fuck, you've got timing. Jesus Christ, you worked. You.
No, I'm sure it's some super important and necessary high-tech device. Here, there are press stubs, and here also has press stubs. But here, and here, they must have run out, so they used gold foil instead. And then over here, they must have run out of gold foil, because they didn't bother with either. Look over here, at the evenly spaced lines of gold foil going down the legs, until you get to this point, where there is 3 lines right close together. It must be important, because it's the connection.
That's good God, no, not that.
Let's look at another leg. Oh, no. On this one, they're all evenly spaced the whole way down. No 3 lines near the crossbar. Apollo 11 mission controller Harold Loden was quoted saying, "The skin on the crew cabin was very thin, and that was all done because of weight saving. If you really took your finger and poked hard at it, you could poke right through the outer skin of the spacecraft. It was about the thickness of 2 layers of aluminum foil." Project manager Thomas Kelly concurred, noting that the skin, the aluminum alloy skin of the crew compartment, was about 12 1/1000ths of an inch thick, equivalent to about 3 layers of Reynolds wrap that you would use in the kitchen. Apollo astronaut Jim Lovell said, "Whenever I saw a model of the lunar module, it had these rigid sides and looked really strong. Turns out that external portions of the lunar module are actually made up of mylar and cellophane, and it's put together with scotch tape and staples. We had to have pads on the floor, because if you dropped a screwdriver, it would go through the floor." Apollo astronaut Gus Grissom even famously hung a lemon on the lunar lander just weeks before the mission started.
No,
the dictionary describes lemon.
Stop there, right there.
I've had it. No.
What?
No, he did not. He did not hang a lemon in the lunar lander. He did not hang a lemon in the lunar. It was in the Apollo 1 module he hung the lemon in, because there was all kinds of problems. And of course, we all know what happened to Apollo 1. That's what he hung it in. So that's bullshit to start with right there. And also, it wasn't just mylar. It was mylar and a material called Captain. And it was multiple layers of all that insulation. And all the different, when he was looking at the landing legs were actually designed to collapse in. And that's why you see those uneven kind of layers of, the foil materials that he was pointing out. That's the reasons for that. But yeah, he's fucking got everything wrong.
I was going to say something about the legs folding in. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And he knows what he's gotten wrong. He doesn't care.
No, of course he doesn't.
So
well, you know what Nazis and truth are like.
Yes, exactly.
I am sorry, but this is a question I've been wondering. You know Godwin's law about, but does that apply with people like Eric Dubay, because he is an actual literal Nazi?
Yeah. Yeah, anybody wants to know, go to his IMDb page. And actually, he does have one, and he's got that quote that's there, that's attributed to him, is a real quote.
Was he anti-Semitic and all that kind of stuff?
Mr. United pointed out in the side chat that the skin of many World War II bombers was so thin it could have been pierced with a BB gun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, when it comes to Eric Dubay, I don't think you need to read into it that much. He released a rap album, right?
I heard
What?
about it, I heard
Yeah,
it.
he released a rap album, and in one of the songs, he openly praises Hitler. So we don't need to beat around the bush on this. He is an out and proud Nazi.
Yeah.
Was it Serrano rap or foil rap?
It was C-rap.
C-rap.
I mean, lyrics aside, he is fucking awful.
So if he makes a holiday album, will that be Christmas rap?
Yeah, he's no.
Okay.
No, let's be clear. He's just a cunt.
We are at gong time. So just to make the ceremony proper, I'm going to push play.
Being a word used to describe things.
Shut up.
There you go.
I bet you any fucking money he's done a video about Operation Paperclip and bringing Nazis into the US. I bet you any fucking money.
I'm sure he has.
For or against?
That is horrible. He didn't even last long enough to get to the subject that was in the title.
Yeah. That's all right, because I hate the man.
What was
and he's like
It was supposed to be about the moon buggy.
Oh.
Those are the lander. Oh well, it doesn't matter.
It goes in the boot.
Oh.
They keep it in the glove compartment.
Yeah.
The title was something about the lunar rover.
Sure.
Right. What's
That's
next
it.
then, Dick?
Sure.
We got
What do we got up next?
At that point, it really is a question of holy fuck, how much harder can it hit, right? I mean, come on. Dubé to lead off the evening? Wow, that's just painful. Here,
well,
I was going to put that in the done folder, but I think I'll just fucking delete it. How about that?
It'll come back just like
Don't delete it because you might end up going, oh yeah, we haven't done that one yet.
Yeah. Mike, I made the same reference earlier. I made a reference to Nathan coming back, and I was like, well, he's like a fart in an airplane. It always comes back.
That's right.
Wouldn't it be so great if when you delete his video, he just like poofs out of existence?
Wow.
If only.
Actually, that was a package on our security system, but we didn't go there.
Get the upgrade. Get the upgrade.
Elimination of idiots is bad for business.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of stupid to go around, so.
Isn't there? Oh, wait a minute.
Alert.
Speaking of security.
Detected. Deploying countermeasures.
Oh, the airplane. Yeah, here we go.
Flat Earth vermin have been eradicated. Condition green.
It's awesome.
Okay, back to the video selection then, shall we? So, I'm going to open with the end of the Earth. For number 2, I give you blue and the 3, 4, and 5 sided squares.
What?
Yep.
sided squares.
Yep, that's what it says.
3 and 5 sided squares.
You can't ask me that. We haven't watched the video. I don't know.
Don't they turn into things like, I don't know, hectagons and such?
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm talking about here, but
I think what's going to be worse is
No.
it's going to take 10 minutes just to figure out what the point of the video is. So.
I suppose it depends on what how you're defining, how you are defining like a triangle.
But it's not. It's a
and then but how many dimensions are you working?
Yeah.
But AB, you're an actual physicist. These are idiots. So I mean, come on, right?
So let's torture AB and Mike and do this one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
For flat earthers, n equals 2. So there you go.
Oh God, here we go. Let me bring in that holographic son of a bitch we call the idiot vision. And I don't even know how to intro this, but I will say if Blue Marble Science was here, he would say, what does he say?
Get off my lawn. Let's push your screen back, something like that.
Yeah, push your monitor at a puncher rate. Yeah, exactly. Right. So
you have mitts on.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
The axiom as well.
Ah, here you go.
Their head trauma in danger.
Euclidean geometry, yes. All nice straight lines.
Hey, that's
Well,
Blue.
what it is, right? In reality, we use Euclidean.
Spherical trig and spherical.
Oh, hold on.
Have you heard?
It's like sped up.
Yeah, I forgot about the speed up thing. So let me go back because that was funny. We just did Blue, and there he is. Okay, hold on. Here, start fresh one more time.
Do you want the axiom as well? Triangle axiom.
It's all fine, Biff.
Yeah.
For Euclidean geometry, yes. All nice straight lines.
Well, that's what it is, right?
No,
In reality, we
spherical.
use Euclidean.
Spherical trig and spherical geometry.
No, that's it.
It's not
Have
the
you
same
heard of
thing.
a sphere? It's
There's
a
whole world full of
three-dimensional
stuff out here that
Euclidean
you don't know
shape.
about. This just happens to be one of those things.
What?
Have you heard of a three-dimensional Euclidean shape called a sphere?
Fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
You might have heard of it within Euclidean
Jesus.
geometry because there is no definition for a sphere in spherical geometry, is there?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. How do you have a sphere in spherical geometry, Blue? How do you do that?
How do you have a sphere in spherical geometry? Did he just say that?
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh.
Did he just say, how do you have a sphere in spherical geometry? Did he really just say
Yes.
My head hurts.
Yeah, the question will not process.
Oh, Jesus. Wow. This is a fine example of people. So there's a trend, right, in the woo peddler, conspiracy nutty, flat earthy nonsense, right? And I think Sleeping Warrior is a fine demonstration of this. It's talk about gravity, right? Talking about density, buoyancy, and then someone clearly shows that he's wrong. Then talking about a different scale because he will try to outsmart the interlocutor by going into a more complex topic. So, you've got your conversation about density, buoyancy, where does stuff float, where does stuff sink. Then to try and outsmart, they'll go to the universal law of gravitation. And once demonstrated that they haven't got a clue what's going on there, he'll go to general relativity. Oh, gravity is not a force and stuff.
And then deep cosmology.
But demonstrate that they don't understand. And once demonstrated that they don't understand, Sleeping Warrior goes to Erik Verlinde's framework of entropic gravity. But the problem is actually in Verlinde's formulation, gravity is definitely a force. But it's more and more complicated. But at every step of the way, they showed that they don't understand. And instead of taking a step back, they take a step to a greater level of detail in trying to outsmart it. But you're seeing this here as well they're talking about Euclidean geometry, they're talking about non-Euclidean geometry, they talk about spherical geometry, whatever the fuck that is. And they're talking about all of these terms as if they're real, but by using those terms, they demonstrate that they don't have an understanding of what the hell they're fucking talking about.
Nah. Well, it's tough to argue with them when they say stupid shit like that, and you're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what the answer is answer your question, because one, I don't know if there's a question in there, and two, what you just said makes no fucking sense. So how do you answer that shit?
Well, I'm actually familiar with the concept of spherical geometry because I spent about 20 years studying geodesic domes. But his question still makes no sense.
Yeah, but even the use of the word spherical geometry, it is an attempt to try and make a special subject. Just like, well, no, you've got geometry. And, and then, but that's it. You've just got geometry. But I suppose that's me taking a physics approach of like, well, no, the only thing that changes is what coordinate basis you're using.
Yes.
Because we can define a sphere in a Cartesian coordinate system where we have x squared plus y squared plus z squared is a constant, and that function describes the surface of a sphere. Perfectly fine. Or we can have a spherical polar coordinate system where we just say, well, the r coordinate, it must be a constant, and that traces out the sphere. But those two definitions are compatible. And when you're talking about Euclidean versus non-Euclidean geometry, basically what you're saying is in Euclidean geometry, you're saying, okay, we're using the Cartesian coordinate system and it holds. But if you have, but when we're saying non-Euclidean geometry, we're moving over the surface of a sphere, and we're treating that as a plane in, say, XY plane or the XZ plane. And then the postulates of Euclidean geometry fall apart. But they don't understand all of that. And that's fine if you don't understand it, because it's nerdy and it's messy. But come the entire fuck on. If you don't understand it, then how do you know if it's wrong?
Right. Yeah, if you don't understand it, how can you use it in an argument?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I've had a few arguments with these guys about this kind of stuff. It was interesting that Aimee, that you brought up Verlinden. These alternative ideas about alternative ideas about gravity, and these guys, like, they seize upon it. They're like, oh well, and I always say, and what's the like modified Newtonian gravity Mond. And that's this is fine, but what they don't seem to understand is that all these ideas, whatever merit they might have, they are no replacement at all for our understanding of gravity. Through relativity.
Well, yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, like Mond, for example, is looking less and less likely at the moment. Verlinus, his entropic gravity is still looking quite promising and has passed quite a few tests now. But Eric himself will say, like, yeah, we're not quite at the level of explanatory power, because it's got very good explanatory power as to what happens with black holes and stuff. But it falls apart when we're looking at the kind of more the other stuff that general relativity kind of deals with, more like galactic scales, and it kind of falls apart there. But then on the other end, I think there was the Juno probe actually performed measurements that, and it did work within that framework. But Belinda, entropic gravity it's not a replacement to general relativity. It uses a lot of the same concepts, and it still has the same basic ideas. It's just got a little bit extra because you've got some theories which try to throw the whole idea of general relativity out. And then you've got other ones which takes parts of it and goes, yeah, that's probably correct. That's probably correct. And develops ideas which are consistent with that. And there's a lot of that being thrown around, but I've been talking a lot about in the Electric Universe crowd.
Yeah.
Who've been saying it's like, oh, it's such a, to go against general relativity, it's heresy. Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, but Verlinda's group is a theoretical physics group, and they've got an insane amount of money, and they've got an insane amount of funding for a theoretical group.
But I mean,
AB, that's a lot like the Perimeter Group here in Canada that Hawking and a few developed. Those guys, there's an entire wing of people who are like, Big Bang, no, didn't happen. Like, that's how advanced their research is going. And I love that kind of stuff. But, until it's one thing to be on the cusp of, but the reality is the reality. And that's a tough grasp when you're going for that, theory of everything that everybody wants now, right? That's pretty cool.
But it's okay. It's good. It's healthy to push against the consensus.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Of course. But for over 100 years, every man and his dog have tried to push and test relativity to destruction, and it hasn't happened because every single time it is being proven to be correct, and it's not complete.
We get new proofs that can be peer reviewed any given time and are every maybe 7 to 10 years. AB, they like just recently there was light bent by a black hole, once again proving relativity. I just was reading it on Science or whatever it was. I can't remember.
Proving, and I think in the context here, like proving is a very dodgy word you're using here.
Yeah.
Because
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, but we're talking about challenging the consensus model, and I think it is entirely wrong to think of any experimental results to be construed as proving that's
right.
Base level.
No, but
it goes further than that. It's not even confirming or supporting evidence. Providing evidence for. The way I see all experimental results is a failure to disprove.
Yeah. Well, this one, there's one that was just peer reviewed already. A few different astronomers did the same one, and there was a bend of light that was exactly as predicted. It was really cool. But we're way off of the video now. Should we let it play a bit more, try to get a few more votes and get this fucker off and go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Sorry, everybody.
Euclid's evolution. Euclid's
that was a pretty weak answer.
Yeah.
Definition number 15. The axis of a sphere is a straight line which remains fixed and about which the semicircle is turned.
Mm-hmm.
Euclid's
fine. No
15.
problem with that.
Yeah. So
That's a 3-dimensional shape, right?
6.
Book 11.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Book 11. Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So what are the first two definitions in that book?
The one I'm looking at only shows I'm at 14. I don't see anything before that.
Oh, right. It says length, breadth, and height, thickness. That's the 3 dimensions, and then it says the surface is that which bounds it.
Now give us the definition within spherical geometry for a sphere.
Yep.
It keeps getting bounced between 2D and 3D.
So who's correct? Which one?
Well, give us the definition within spherical geometry of a sphere, please.
Cool.
Spherical geometry is the geometry
I think
of a two-dimensional surface of a sphere.
Okay, so
Conceptual.
What's a sphere then? In that.
In this context, the word sphere refers only to the two-dimensional surface. Other terms like ball or solid sphere are used for the surface together. It's three-dimensional interior.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the one I posted earlier. Yep, that's a good one.
Of the Euclidean shape then, right?
So in that case, we don't live on a sphere, we live on a solid sphere.
Euclidean,
right.
three-dimensional sphere, right? So you have to use Euclidean geometry, not spherical.
Oh,
well, you can use Euclidean geometry. That's perfectly fine. It's just tedious.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
not very logical thinking you guys got going on.
What the fuck?
So who's correct? Are you guys correct?
Yeah.
Or is the rest of geometry correct? Correct.
What do you mean? Geometry?
Yeah, we're correct.
So there's no such thing as spherical geometry?
Well, what's your definition of a square?
That's okay. They don't understand.
Just give us your definition of a square in spherical geometry, will you?
No point.
Calling Dr. Dunning, Dr. Kruner, Dr. Dunning.
Come on, B-Ball.
Just simple denial.
Just give us a quick square. A quick square. Come on, B-Ball.
Have you rewritten the books, Bev?
I'd like you to.
Should we all go with you?
Just send
with
us
your definitions.
Just give us the definition of a square in spherical geometry for us.
I don't think that. What's the point of that question?
It would show us what you know about your spherical geometry that you want to claim.
Why does he have to show you that, you douchebag?
A square or a solid square?
A square.
Just a square.
See, this is the part where when they say you don't understand.
Pause. I'm sorry. Pause.
Into this and
No, you know what?
There you go. Fuck. I hate that approach where prove to us this, prove to us that. No, this is geometry has been around, quite a few years now, or centuries. So millennia. Why should I have to prove to you what's been proven for thousands of years? If you got a fucking problem with it, then present your problem and present your argument. And of course, we'll rip it apart because you're an idiot. But, it's not up to us to be able to prove. The burden is on you. So shut up and either prove what's wrong or admit you have no fucking clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, where would we be? Where would we be now if every single person had to prove every single thing that had ever been found out?
Well, that's what they expect you to do.
Can we start by forcing all flat earthers to watch the box set of Sesame Street? Just to start off. Because
the only problem with that is that they'll end up doing a 12-part series on how Sesame Street is a deep state / Illuminati plot to destabilize society and indoctrination, and I don't know, just throw in some transphobia in there. Why not, for good measure?
Can I just drop in at this point and say, I don't know if you're aware of this or aware of the guy called the Rumpus. Does everyone know the Rumpus?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So and it's not the Rumpus. It's Rumpus.
You fucking utter moron.
Hey, apparently the Rumpus is doing Panto this Christmas season.
Well, anyway, what I was getting at was that next weekend, and next weekend, the Rumpus is going to recreate the Bedford level experiment. And I was speaking to him about this last night, and he's been caught short because he doesn't have actually a proper optical system to document all these all the things down the this canal And I said, hey, well, I'm not doing anything next weekend. So I've got an embarrassment of telescopes, and I'll come down and I'll do it. You can.
I didn't know that one. So a rookery is for penguins and an embarrassment is for telescopes. Interesting.
I was about to say the same thing.
I was going to ask if an embarrassment was a group of Karens.
Touche, perfect.
So what did Rumpus say?
No, he was overjoyed. He was like, "Oh, like thank fuck! Actually, someone has actually stepped up. He didn't know what he was going to do." And I'm like, "Well, I've got this telescope, I've got that telescope, I've got these cameras, this camera, and well, tell you what, I'll just fucking come down. I've got a camper van. I don't need accommodation. I'll come down, and we'll sort it out." So fuck knows what'll I really don't know what his experiment entails exactly. Hopefully he's actually organized this properly. I think he's got a real bee in his bonnet. He's preoccupied with wanting to live stream this, which I think is a mistake.
I think that's a really bad idea. I think the whole thing is actually a bad idea, if I'm completely honest, because and these kind of the Bedford level experiments or whatever. You are, whichever kind of iteration or variation upon it you are trying to do, albeit, shine a laser across a body of water or whatsoever. It all suffers a very basic problem, is that you can't show anything unless you've properly characterized every part of it. And on a shoestring budget, you can't do that.
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't get involved if it was a direct replication of that experiment, because it was shot over water. But what he's doing is using the level as an elevation of targets that are not actually on the water, but next to the water,
like Jeranism did.
Yeah, you're still going to have some issues with it. However, but here's the other side of the argument. I'm going to say it like scientifically or anything like that. You're not going to convince anyone because you can't prove that the Earth is flat. You can't show that the Earth is a sphere whatsoever. However, it is an excellent opportunity to sit in a field, play around, mess with some equipment, and just get hammered.
Well, that's it. Well, it might not surprise you. That's kind of my angle.
but that's all the same thing with the guys who kind of like drive around the edges and the perimeter of Area 51 and hoping to see UFOs and shit like that, and they don't see anything. But at the end of the day, they're gonna sit there in the middle of the night in a camper van with a barbecue, few beers, and having a bloody great time. So fuck it.
I heard the beers and the good time, and I just woke up and thought, yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Okay, now I like the general concept, but if you're going to get hammered, leave the telescopes and levels in their cases. It's not good for precision instruments.
Oh no.
Oh, trust me, that's not precision instruments, but when hammered, that shit is not precision.
See, here's my take on it. Here's my take on it. We know the Earth isn't flat. We've seen it from space. The fact that they deny that is not our problem. And to lower yourself to their level, pardon the pun, It just don't. I mean, fuck them. If they can't accept it, if they just can't accept the truth, don't go into this kind of like puzzle game of trying to prove the Earth is a globe by their standards. No, I don't give a fuck. We know the Earth's not flat. We know the Earth is a globe. We can see it. We've seen it for years.
I said to Rumpus last night that look, I don't care. I don't care what Bev or whoever. I don't care what the flat earthers think. But I think this is a worthwhile. If you're going to put the effort into this and you're stuck. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you out, and I think, I think it'll be a good time, and if it's done properly, and I certainly can shoot the data if it's done properly, and if I'm.
But you've already said you're all going to go down and get drunk. I mean, it's not going to be done properly. It's just
no.
So
a lot of science can be done when drunk.
Yes,
don't fuck around, right? You can do good science when absolutely shit-faced. Do you know?
I hope so.
That the modern definition of the gene is actually based on a bunch of biologists getting shit-faced.
But
that will be their first argument: is you didn't do it properly because you're all drunk. That will be their first argument.
Actually, the definition of a gene came from the announcement that the results of the Human Genome Project were going to be in soon, and they were at a conference and they were just getting hammered. And they had a bet. Someone decided to have a bet, and who could get the closest guess to how many genes there are in the human genome. But obviously, because they're scientists and pedantic, they ended up in the betting ledger whilst they were drinking and getting shit-faced, writing down conditions as to what would be considered a gene. And a lot of that, to this day, what is written
I vote Levi's.
betting ledger. Levi's, yes, absolutely. But yeah, a lot of that is still used as part of the definition of a gene because it's biology and things are wishy-washy. That's biology is like. But yeah.
Well, but how about? Hold on. How about we go to the definition of moronic, because we're pushing time and we still have a couple of videos to dive into, and I know I've got a couple that you don't want to miss.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go and piss and I'll be back.
That's probably exactly. So AB doesn't have a glass on hand. He's going to use an actual bathroom because that's how we roll around here. No offense there, Riley.
Some do.
Before you roll the next video, my intention is to go down there and do the test, and I fully intend to get shit faced at night. But I'm not going to do the test drunk. No. So I'm gonna. He asked me to help him, and I said, I was like, am I free? Yes, I am free. Could I do it? Yes, I can. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to record his observations. And that's it. And so I
waste of time. Next video.
So, sometimes this is a case of be careful what you ask for. So, I've been saving this title. You're going to love this. Sun photos prove Mars is a flat, stationary world next to the Earth.
Wow.
But we got flat Mars now.
That would be
Yeah. And then we have the 2021 pharmacary, muzzles, injections, slavery.
Oh my God, that just pissed me off.
Oh, that's a bad one. Oh,
yeah, that's gonna be painful.
And then we have a third. We have MIT and MFU photons, and possibly dark matter.
Huh? It does not sound like your average Flurf video right there.
No, it doesn't at all. So we have three choices. Fellow baby, pick your choice.
Matter or doesn't matter?
I really want to know where that third one is going.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Well,
that's in how long it takes to get to a point.
Well, I just
well,
want to
they have-
apologise. I want to apologise beforehand because I read the title and gave this to Dick. I haven't watched it, so I apologise in advance. It was just the title that caught my eye.
You should be more like Colon.
69.
Should be more like Colon. He doesn't apologize. He just laughs at you and says, "Too bad."
But I'm a nice person.
You know what? I'm beginning to doubt that. I'm beginning to doubt that, to be honest.
Citation needed.
Come to Australia. Everything wants to kill you, DK.
See? And she's just spreading it around now. Oh, fellow babies, by the way, you might notice that the dragon isn't on the table, Mipet's dragon, but you see a cool chick in red. Well, that's the real Mipet. She decided to transform from the dragon back to her human form, and that's Mipet. So,
Hi, guys.
there you go. Yeah.
I
Now.
like being in red.
It works for you. So here we go. I would recommend Paul Newman Ranch for this word salad, but who knows? Let's see.
Okay, my friends, Roger once again. Researchers at MIT discovered that with just regular cameras, they can see photons. And what they did was they took 500 cameras and they watched as the photons moved to get like a 3D
Hold
picture
on,
of
stop. Sorry. Oh, no, this is With regular cameras, they can see photons. What do you think a fucking camera does?
You mean records lights?
Oh my God.
How far did we get?
Yeah.
2 seconds.
James
in, I
Clark
think.
Maxwell is rolling in his grave right now saying, really?
We discovered photons with a camera. That's impressive. Holy shit.
It's fucking hell.
Hey, I'm glad I just had a drink beer tonight.
Roger, you fucking cretin. That's exceptional.
Come on, let's see where he's going with it. Though.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, forget about research. Just look up the definition of what you're talking about.
Kind of hard to use a camera without light.
That was just incredible to hear. Holy motherfucking shit, man. Wow. Okay, fellow babies,
Yes, you can
we
see photons
have...
with your eyes.
Yeah. Can you imagine optics working? I mean, seriously. But everybody on the panel and everybody watching, we have a Gary Wabinga video lined up for after this. It was submitted by no less than Facty himself. So if we can get a gong as fast as possible, and that means break out that vote one, fellow baby, we could do a little Gary Wabinga to close out the show. I think it's worth it. Let's give it a try.
Absolutely.
I want to do it.
Just got to finish.
Gary
Just got to finish
to
breaking.
close off the show. That sounds disgusting.
But we just need to break Mike and AB a little bit more.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed because Gary's not in the chat anymore. So.
Oh, he is. He's taggable.
Oh, he's there.
Definitely there. Yeah, he's just embarrassed right now because he knows that that little pencil he uses to write his script. What's it called? Oh, right, his pecker is now going to be on display. So let's see what happens here. We need the votes, fellow babies. Get that vote one in.
Yeah.
Light in progress. Now listen to what he has to say here.
We're always fascinated with creating lighting effects that appear to come from very sophisticated light sources. But because we can watch photons seemingly moving through the space, we can analyze the transport, the movement of these photons, and create new photographs as if we had created those expensive light sources in a studio.
Okay, and we did. Okay, here's what they did. They're looking for bullets of light traveling through space.
Or bullets of light traveling through space.
We use a very regular pulsed light source and a camera that is not one camera, but an array of 500 sensors.
All right, so this is how they did it. They used 500 cameras, regular pulsed laser, and regular cameras. And we did the same thing, only we only used one camera, but we got stunning effects. So they say they can see photons. That is a photon. This is dark matter. We've never seen it before. And each one of these dark matters attaches to what we've always called an electron.
What?
Fuck off.
What the hell did he just...
He just showed us a photo of dark matter. He's the first in the human race, and God love him for it. What the actual fuck just happened?
Wow, I'd like to see the technical rationale for that one.
Oh,
I think AB just passed out.
I've got a tin of black paint. If I paint something black, am I filming dark matter?
It's
no.
dark.
It's
dark and it matters.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my God!
So
wow.
where did he get that photo was of what he says it is? I mean, did he just make that shit up, or
it looked like a picture of the tiniest and most easiest Rubik's cube I've ever seen.
And there it is. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
A photograph is composed or derived from the impact of photons.
Yeah,
we know what photons are, and that it's not dark matter; it's photons.
It's kind of hard to take a photo without light.
I don't think that this is not what the video was about. It was about not photons hitting a camera sensor. It was viewing photons like from the side or something. It's like you see them traveling through space.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
I think. I mean, a lot of you will have seen the video of the light wave passing through a Coca-Cola bottle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is basically what he's talking about.
Interesting.
This is basically what I was talking about, because I on the kind of the thing at the start, the thumbnail image, I kind of recognized a bit in there, and it's like, I know which bit you're talking about here. It's kind of cool, but it is really old hat.
Does the same thing work in a Pepsi bottle?
No. With Pepsi bottles, you actually see the dark matter distribution.
Ooh.
Dark matter and Pepsi.
Okay, hold on. We'll edit that out.
We need to edit that out because, of course, these are secrets we can't, contracts and everything. Sorry.
Okay, does it only work with Pepsi, or can you get the effect with Coke?
Well, I hear there's some really good research being done with Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I think Tornado Pelt's in charge of that on Friday night movie night.
Oh, that's funny.
Security
Oh, what do we
alert.
got now?
Morons
It's the new
detected.
Coke of the 80s.
Deploying countermeasures.
Oh.
Got him
Flat
again.
Earth vermin have been eradicated. Condition green.
Best $79 we ever spent, guys.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Ta-da.
So we have time, and I am told by a little birdie that we might have a Gary Wabinga video set up.
As long as it's not that fucking Twitter bird.
I'm just waiting for the folder to refresh because somehow my SSD isn't fast enough. I don't know how that even works. Okay, here we go. I've got Gary Wabinga.
Gary,
the
why
son.
bother?
Yeah, well, here, especially when you hear the title, because it's Gary. The sun is always above the clouds, and here's why. And
I'm sorry. Here is why. Because the sun is quite far away. Maybe that's
really fucking far away.
I'm dying right now.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you really don't need to have AB Science's, job as a physicist and educator and stuff to figure this one out. But we're going to watch it anyway because, hey, Gary, we're all about Gary.
This is a familiar
Christ.
scene that we all see
Oh,
many
God.
times. There's an argument between people who believe we live on a globe and people who believe
No, there's
the Earth is
absolutely
flat.
no argument whatsoever.
No, there's no argument.
Oh my God,
One who
his
believes in the globe
voice,
would
his
say
voice is
the
even
sun
worse than
shining underneath these
Dubai.
clouds. The flat earther says no, the sun is over the clouds at all times and is never shining.
I'm speeding it up.
The clouds.
Yes, please.
Well, one thing we can see in a picture like this is the clouds higher up here, much whiter and brighter than the clouds below, some of the thick ones and the dark ones. There's a reason for some of those dark ones, and I will explain that in a little bit. But as for the reds and the oranges and the yellows, it's simply the sun is at a low angle still in the sky, either getting ready to rise or
1 second here, everybody. I'll put it back like 2 seconds, but you notice how it's almost at the pace of a human speaking? I have it at 1.5 speed. It still seems a bit slow.
Certainly does.
Oh my God.
I also like the whole, there's an argument whether it's a sphere or globe. No, there fucking
No.
There fucking isn't. There's people who say it's flat and there's people who take the piss out of it. But I think there's something else that's important to kind of highlight for people who kind of do seriously debunk this shit. And I know that a lot of people who would consider me as part of that, but I'm not. And that's the part where, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do debates, is because engaging in debates and all of that, it kind of entertains that there's some validity, that there is some kind of argument. It paints this false dichotomy, or this false equivalence. And I don't know, there's just something about that particular line that really kind of got me kind of like, maybe there is something here that we should be very careful about.
And exactly, AB. That's why I kind of get annoyed with people like John and Rumpus who are, going to the flat Earth level and doing experiments to try to prove the Earth is a globe. Well, we know it's not fucking flat.
Well, yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
we know it's not
the same. It's the same thing.
Well, I mean,
I agree. I agree. I've got it here. I completely agree with that. I don't think that there's
there's very little point trying to convince diehard flat earthers of their position. It's not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. And I've said to like other like prominent debunkers, like, why the fuck are we doing this? Why we're doing this? What's the point? And they've said, I'm talking about Blue Marble Science, Bob the Science Guy, people like that, and they've said, like, well, this arena kind of promotes people like us. I'm not putting myself in with them, but people like us to actually demonstrate exactly how we know the Earth is a sphere, and also to demonstrate various other scientific concepts. And it as other people have said, it causes you to actually sort of reevaluate kind of how do I know the stuff that I know, and it causes you to revisit that kind of stuff. And also, the hope is that if you've got someone that sees this kind of stuff who is sitting on the fence, if they see something that demonstrably shows that science demonstrates the whatever concept it is, then maybe you've saved someone from falling down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
That's my ethos.
Because I do get that, and that's something I try to reflect in my approach, because in what I do and the content that I've produced, there's I put these silly ideas front and center, right? And I address the ideas. I try to avoid addressing people, but I don't pick a topic unless I can find something more important, like the sun, the position of the sun on the flat Earth. If the Earth were flat, what would we expect to see? And that's about taking some premises and pushing them to their natural conclusion. Or here's an experiment. How do we evaluate the results? And how do we compare to theories like Sleeping Warrior burning magnesium in a tube? So there is absolute value in there. But I think that if we're going to be, especially when it comes to debates and trying to approach things in a formal framework, a lot of people are saying, oh, these debates end up in dumpster fires because there's no rules and stuff like that. But as soon as you start approaching this with a set of rules,
they fail.
Okay, but they fail. But if you have a flat earther in a free-form discussion and you allow them to shoot off into a dumpster fire of nonsense and stuff like that, I think that's almost better. Because they go and do their thing and they go all completely nutty and all that, but there's a piss take component to it. Whereas,
there is. That's maybe that's why we did the time debates on the channel here, because even when you have timed back and forth, so nobody can step on each other, they open themselves up to ridicule to the point where it still is that, oh my God, everybody's just like, what the fuck? You still get it, no matter how hard you try to stay away.
Yeah. I think the more formal you approach things and the more correct, quote unquote, correct way you approach this, the more credit you give to the idea. And I think that's quite problematic. And For me, this is a really concerning thing. I'm thinking. So over the past few months, about a year or so, I've been really looking at how general discourse has developed over the years and the different techniques that different people have used, and I'm seeing some. And of course, this is fucking flat Earth. It's silly, but there's an attitude which I find very concerning, and it's this liberal attitude of certain ideas will be defeated in debate. But actually, no. There are certain ideas that just by engaging them in debate, you lose.
I think that's true. I think
because by engaging in debate, you're saying your idea is worth debating, and that's a huge victory. And
if you designated a true debate and not just a discussion about ridiculous topics, you might have a point there.
Yeah, precisely, and that's why I'm like a bit against these kind of formal rules and stuff like that, because in the late 1950s, early 1960s, this is what a young chap called George Lincoln Rockwell did. And if people are not familiar with this character, he is the founder of the modern neo-Nazi movement. And that's the very tactic that he used to get mainstream appeal.
What this reminds me of is something that Neil deGrasse Tyson said. Because he doesn't go into with people, and the reason he gave was pretty simple. He said, on my side, if I have objective truth, there is no debate there. So, to debate about that is just silly. It's not a debate. So we shouldn't really go there, and that's kind of where I'm at. But I'm the reason why I'm helping out Rumpus is because I have telescopes, and I quite like the idea of shooting wherever I can see over 8 kilometers. Yeah. I know I can do it, and I'm sure I'll get decent results. Well, as long as
are we straying away? Are we straying away from Gary's video quite a lot?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ! That was quite straying away from. I think it was about 3 or 4 words.
Yeah. Well, Mike's got his hand up here, and then we'll let it play a bit, and then we'll do some wrap ups because we're getting tight now.
All right, just go ahead and let it play. I'll do it, and I'll make my statement and wrap up.
Yeah, I may be drinking, but I wouldn't say I'm tight.
Yeah. Oh, I would, but that was last week. Here we go.
The sky, either getting ready to rise or just risen, and you have.
That's just because you didn't spit.
Atmosphere for it to cut through. Well, as it cuts through this atmosphere, you have light scattering, where the blue spectrum and a couple of those other spectrums, violet, are scattered, and you don't see them as
yes. And why do you think that scattering happens?
Like the red spectrum and the oranges and the yellows will be the first reaching you with intensity. So that's what you're going to see.
Thinks he knows
you
why.
It at sunrises and sunsets for the most part. You don't really see it directly overhead, which also kind of tells you it can't be the sun shining under the clouds. First of all, if it was the sun shining in the clouds, they would be lit brightly, more whitish, right? Because that's what sunlight does when it has a direct line to something. It lights it up. This is different. This is red. It's called Rayleigh scattering.
Bullshit.
The name they
Bullshit.
Oh,
Anyhow,
jeez.
I'm going to show you a few things that will show you why you have dark parts of clouds, red parts of clouds, and the
He does not
bright
want to
shiny ones
bring
on
up
top.
Rayleigh scattering.
Yeah, he does.
I'm gonna do a little
It's his
demonstration
favorite
using this little
subject.
flashlight, and
He thinks he knows what
Oh
it
God!
means.
Here's a cotton ball sitting on top of the light.
I think he said cock and balls.
The side that's closest to the light.
He loves
is
cock and
whitish.
balls.
It's because it's lit up.
Right.
And the light is penetrating. But this is the far side on the top. It's the far side, I guess you could call it antipodal, to where the light enters into the cotton ball. This would be where it exits. Now the light doesn't
An
penetrate as much,
antipodal
so you get
cloud?
dark spots in the clouds. And that's what you will see when you have those nice, beautiful sunrises and sunsets. You'll see
I
reds and
can't.
blues and yellows and some dark parts of the clouds, but it's always the part
Oh
that's
my God.
antipodal to where the direct light from the sun is shining into the cloud.
I'm done.
Yeah,
Here's
there you
something
go.
many of us
Yeah, you know, he loves to talk about the Rayleigh criterion and Rayleigh scattering. And when we argued about that a month or so ago, you know, he had his explanation for the Rayleigh criterion and stupid car bumpers and tires and stuff. And when I said, well, can you explain how that fits into the Rayleigh criterion equation? He was like, well, the math doesn't matter because math doesn't work. This doesn't represent reality. So let me get this straight. You're gonna invoke the Rayleigh criteria and then say the equation is wrong.
So here's my issue of when they try and pull in and very heavy air quotes advanced, because it fucking isn't, optics. You have to remember that all of this is founded on Maxwell's equations.
Yep.
Yeah.
And require the validity of Maxwell's equations. Do you know what Maxwell's equations tell us? They tell us that light behaves in a very specific way. And the way in which light behaves is absolutely essential in things like fiber optics, the stuff that they use to post their nonsense on the internet. But the way that light behaves is also very important in determining the way that the surface of the Earth is illuminated.
Ooh, good point.
And the way that light behaves tells us that the illumination patterns that we see on Earth is not possible if it were fucking flat.
Yeah.
Because the way that light behaves means that if the Earth were flat, it wouldn't be fucking dark anywhere.
Nope.
It would also mean that Australia is quite cold. It would mean that the Arctic Circle would be a really nice holiday resort.
Yep.
Because of all the sunshine and sexy beaches and all of that shit. So, if you are going to invoke Rayleigh criteria and Rayleigh scattering, then you're going to run into trouble. But that is the problem. What these flat earthers and pseudoscience woo peddlers, note how I don't include flat earthers with the pseudoscience woo peddlers, because at least the pseudoscience woo peddlers are not as fucking stupid as flat earthers. But note how they don't really understand how all of physics is connected. You can't remove one bit of physics and expect any of it to work, because you remove one part of it and the whole fucking thing falls apart.
Reality, what a concept.
You know, the thing that really it's one of the things that really grips my shit about flat Earth is this misuse, this misunderstanding of the Rayleigh criterion, and I build telescopes. I build my own telescopes, and this is actually something that I've put a lot of brain power into deciphering or calculating, and I know exactly what the Rayleigh criterion is, and it has absolutely nothing to do with whatever these flat Earth guys are trying to peddle, as I'm sure you know.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you can't discount the fact that they can't even use the wrong equation correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hey, guys, sorry, but we have to hand it over to Aimee to do some roundtables. Otherwise, we're going to run late. Now, if anybody's thinking it's a good idea that we should do a little after chat, we could always do an after show. Let's see what the live chatters and stuff think. I need half an hour to get alcohol and have a quick snack, but that's only 30 minutes of your lives. I'm sure you can handle it. Aimee, what do you think? Shall we reintroduce the panel and get some thoughts?
I think we should. Let's get ready. Let's go right straight around this room and see what everybody thought of this evening.
Bojo back.
All right. And first up, I have DKG Custom. DKG, what did you think of this evening?
You know what? I hate to say it. My favourite bit tonight was Eric DeBay.
You are a monster.
Yeah, heathen, kill the heretic.
Yeah, stone me. Yeah, I did say Jehovah. Yeah, just the just incredulity of a man who knows fuck all about aeronautics, space technology, moon landings, or anything. I mean, he's a yoga instructor. What the fuck is he going to know about building a lunar lander? What? Honestly, God, and to him to sit there going, it's shit. It's so ridiculously funny. Yeah, so that was my favorite bit tonight.
There you go. That's awesome. I know there's some different things on there. And next up, we have Mipet. Mipet, what did you think of this evening?
I just enjoyed, AB science freaking the fuck out after one sentence. It was
This is a problem for me when I look at content. People send me stuff to kind of look at their content, and it's like they're not even halfway through their first sentence, and I'm just I can write 1,000 fucking word essay. It's wrong. It is a curse.
Sorry,
It's
not
a good one.
sorry.
That's awesome.
But it was great. Yeah, good night. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And next up, we have Purple Rhymes with Orange. Purple, what did you think of this evening?
That bit about the spherical geometry just hurt my head because, like I said, I spent a lot of time designing geodesic domes, and yeah, that's the whole essence of that. Is you calculate 3 points on the sphere and figure out how long the struts will be if you use straight lines instead of arcs.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Thank you so much, Purple. And next up, we have Mike Bertelson. What did you think of this evening?
Oh, there was a whole lot of stuff. I just can't take debate. I'm sorry. It pisses me off. And, AB talks about scientists doing science while shit-faced. So all I have to say is up, down, top, bottom, strange, and charmed. Tell me there wasn't a bong involved in that.
You know what? There's a bit of a top-bottom thing around that. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good night. Gary, and he just loves Rayleigh, and he gets it wrong every time because he's just an idiot. That's it.
Definitely an idiot. All right. Up next, we have Be-NoJustBe. B, how did you feel after that lovely stuff we had tonight?
You know, Amy, cue nostalgic music. There were parts where there was intelligence flowing from the panel. There were parts where we got a good laugh. But mostly there were parts where it hurt our heads. So it's okay. We know what we're stepping into every time we come here. But it was a little painful.
Yeah.
We really should be getting a kickback on the sale of ibuprofen for this show.
Yes, we should. Oh my goodness. And up next we have John Watson. How do you feel about everything that we just saw today?
Oh fuck. Was that Aimee Hogan?
Yes.
Oh. Hey. How you doing?
When she speaks, we listen. Come on.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say apart from the how you do. Just what everyone else basically wrapped into one. If that would like come out of my mouth, that's what I've got to say.
There we go. That was awesome. Thank you so much. And next up, we have AB. AB, we haven't seen you in so long. It's been great to have you on. We loved the flip out you just had. That was awesome.
You always deliver a good flip out.
Oh, exactly. So how are you feeling about everything tonight?
Well, I just during the wrap up, I thought I'd just quickly look up Eric Dubé on IMDb, and according to his filmography, his first credit is in 2014. Now, because people are saying that he's an idiot and stuff like that, and I don't think that's the case. I think he knows exactly what's going on, and I know that and I think that he's found a good grift because his first credit is 2014. Now, I'm very average in the whole science thing. Since 2014, in 2014, I started my undergraduate degree. I did that. And then I did my PhD. I published several Nature papers since that time.
You wouldn't believe what donkeys can do in sexual situations. But go ahead, AB.
I've published several papers in Nature. I have contributed to some major textbooks on different physics subjects. And I'm average. If Eric Dubé has been at it since 2014, there is absolutely no fucking excuse to still posit that he is that he believes that the Earth is flat. There is just it is utterly indefensible. He is either a colossal idiot or he's a grifter.
Yep.
And I don't think that there's a single idiot out there who is so fucking stupid to be in this game since 2014 and not know anything about the reality and still have that level of incredulity. So, he is a Nazi grifter. He can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's exactly what it is, too. DKG, you had your hand up. Oop.
He can't. It's wrap-ups.
I know.
I know it's wrap up. I just wanted. I forgot to say, welcome back to the Earth, the globe, Inspiration 4, who spent several days looking down at our fucking globe. And I think at this point we should say hello to Brian Leakey in the chat. Little Flathead's having a bit of a
But we don't want to, because he's already being a little shit. And Brian, here. We'll deal with this real quick. Brian. This is my Discord username and number. PM me if you want to join us on Pub Chat. It's just an open discussion. But this show is all about showing why, these videos are stupid. So there wasn't an open table. But yeah, get a hold of me if you want. Anyway, Aimee.
Yeah,
Can I give a quick message to Brian?
Go ahead.
Okay. Brian, listen, Brian, please gargle my balls.
Oh, there you go then.
Apparently they're delicious.
That's a good message. Okay, these videos that we watched tonight were very painful. I had to watch them myself before I had to pass some of these on to you, and ouch. We've got some extras though to save for next week, which is good, so yay for that. I want to thank everyone on the panel for coming. It was good to see you again, AB. I'm so glad that you were able to stop in and visit with us. This is awesome.
Was it?
So good. And I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming as well. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. It looks like we're going to have an after show, I guess, Dick.
Well, we're gonna look into it. There was a couple of people. Yeah, there was a couple of people. Something. But I'll do a quick store run. We'll regroup in Discord. We'll reshuffle and see how it goes. But there is one thing, fellow babies, you got to remember. If you're one of those people that wake up and look in the mirror and go, yeah, I am a flat earther, you're an idiot. If you're one of those people that wake up and think to yourself, I can't wait to Karen out today, you're an idiot. And if you're one of those people who think, oh, it's a full moon and I got to charge my crystals tonight, just do it in the sun. Damn it, it's more direct. On that note, we're done and we should say good night. Good night, fellow babies. We're out of here.
Peace out.
Eat snacky smokes.